Hey beautiful souls, it's Infinite Love, your local hippie, and I want to talk about hashtag the Great Awakening. So this is something I went through in 2014. It was the end of 2014. It was December, and then into 2015 is when it really took off. I have been witness to other people's awakenings, and I have also myself sparked that of a couple of people's awakenings myself. And what this awakening is a complete shattering of what you think you know as truth, what you think you know as real, what you think you know, basically. So it's maybe three different things. We're waking up into truth. So number one, truth. Like I said, it's truth about who you think this physical persona of you is. When you awaken, you learn that this physical person you think of as you, that you come to know as you, it's only a small percentage, maybe 10%, maybe if that, of what you really are. You're actually a greater aspect. So it's stuff like that. And you learn the physical construct that is physical reality. It's basically a mirror. It is whatever is in here, it will be displayed somewhere in this mirror reality that we call physical reality, that we call Earth or whatever. What else are we waking up into? It's across the board. So all of the systematic structures that we have within society, government, religion, educational systems, politics, our food supply, medical industry, across the board, like, that and infinite more. So we're waking up into truth about just all of the lies that we've been told, all of the secrets that are kept from the public. Yes, that can go into conspiracy theories, but not necessarily. There is a lot of truth in conspiracy theories. It's just a matter of researching them for yourself. So that actually goes into number two, which I'm not done with number one, but so basically we're just waking up into truth across the board. So that'll lead me into number two, which is we're kind of waking up into true empowerment of ourselves. So when we wake up into truth, we're waking up into seeing all of these different lies, all of, that we've bought into for our whole life, and our parents bought into, their parents bought into, and it's just been perpetuated for so long. We see the lies that we have just bought into, and it's literally like the Matrix, when Neo wakes up and he realizes he didn't know what reality really was. It was completely different. And so this is kind of like waking up. It's basically like taking the red pill and saying like, what the fuck? Everything is shattered. So we're waking up into truth, and then when we wake up into all those truths, yes, we can, it can be a shock to our system, let's just say. Because I went through it too. You go through all this range of emotions: shock, anger, frustration, everything, literally, disgust. But then comes the realization that, hey, we can do something positive with this, and it's more like you're turning that energy into empowerment. You're turning all these truths of the lies that you've just found out, and all of these things that you've thought were real that really aren't. You're turning it into true empowerment of, hey, let me start to spread. It's kind of like an awakening of, I want to start spreading awareness myself. I want to be this change. You start spreading awareness. You start becoming that vibration of a higher consciousness. It's so much, guys. It's mind-blowing. So it's true empowerment. There's a lot of people that are operating from a level of fear and a level of anger. And so where is that? Fear, anger, depression, like all those lower vibrational energies, negative basically, are down here. So true empowerment is up here. It's love. It's true empowerment. And so it's from a higher vibrational standpoint. And so we can't do anything from a lower, disempowered state. So it's realizing we have to empower ourselves. We have to empower each other. That's where unity and humanity and realizing we are all the same. We are all brothers and sisters. We're realizing so much. So this is another thing that we just wake up into so many deep, profound realizations about ourselves, about others, about the planet, about everything. And the thing is different things are going to resonate within your soul because we're all different. We've all had different experiences. So different things are going to resonate. So I would even say always be respectful of somebody else's experiences because that's their experience. And if they've learned to be a bigot and a racist, then have some compassion because they've led a really hard life and they've allowed themselves to be so disempowered that, they've melded themselves or molded themselves that way. And it takes a deeper understanding. It takes an open heart to really have compassion for somebody like that, or to realize that, we don't know that much about, the human consciousness and how certain things affect certain things, and just how cause and effect play into how we develop as people and what we can develop into. That's all I'm saying here. So another thing we're actually waking up into is this shift in consciousness. I actually have a video on Infinite Love on YouTube. You can go check out, and that's the 6 signs that you're waking up into the shift in consciousness. So we're waking up into this shift in consciousness. So it's a realization of we need to understand ourselves as a species, as vibrational beings. We have to understand ourselves on a deeper level. We're not just physical. We are vibrational. We have to come from that level. We have to act from that level. We have to teach our kids from that level of understanding. We're realizing we need this deeper understanding of ourselves and how we interrelate with each other, with ourselves especially, with nature, with the world, everything basically. So it's realizing that we are not the stars of the show, that we are, we're just kind of so mesmerized by ourselves and our technology that, there needs to be a balance of us, between us and each other, us and ourselves, us and nature. Because, for example, we're ravaging, we're destroying Mother Earth, yet Mother Earth is a consciousness in and of herself, in and of itself. If Mother Earth were not here, neither would we be. If we didn't have trees, we didn't have this, earth to walk on, this water to drink, this air to breathe, we would cease to exist. And so we need to have that balance and that respect. We need to bring it back. We need to bring that humanity back, that respect and that love, that empathy, that compassion for that which nourishes us. We realize we are one and the same, and that it's a give and take. It's a symbiotic relationship. It's it's an energy exchange too. It's a lot of different things. So we're realizing we need a deeper understanding. And so we're getting out of this old way of thinking where it's been very control based and fear based and manipulative and corrupt and greedy. And it's kind of, this is why I say, the government is really crumbling right before our eyes, because it's all corrupt. It's all made up of these very negative type of energies, mostly. So negative energy actually will start to implode in on itself at a certain point. Just depending on what it is, it starts just kind of, because it's segregative. Negative energy is segregative. It is exclusive. Whereas positive energy is inclusive. It's expansive. And it even includes the negative. That's positively oriented energy. Everything is valid, and that's what we need to become, is just conscious, not necessarily more positive, just all positively oriented, because we become this society of all positive, no negative. But we can't assert ourselves like that. We can't assert ourselves on intolerance or on war. We can't assert ourselves. We have to basically rise above what we're trying to fight. We can't have a war for peace. We need to rise above. Energy just doesn't work that way. So we're realizing, again, deeper realizations. We need to act from that spot, that space of, and it's also a mending, a merging of energy, where it needs to be heart and mind. It has to be, spiritual and physical, not all divided, because how we have a separation of church and state. It has to be a melding of energies. It has to be an understanding. It has to be a balance. Everything has to be valid. So it's greater, much greater realizations of the world, I would say. And I hope that kind of gives more of a deeper understanding of kind of what happens, or just what this great awakening is. It's deeper realizations. I can't even tell you how many epiphanies I had while I was awakening. I was just like completely different within a week span, let alone 2 weeks, let alone a month. I was completely different. And I wanted to help facilitate some level of understanding of what it is. Now, everybody's going to go through have a different experience. But right now you're probably watching this like, I don't know what the fuck she is talking about. This lady's crazy. But you'll know when it comes to you, because it's sweeping across the planet. It's not going to miss you. This is a whole shift in consciousness. So more and more people are basically awakening every day. So when we reach this critical mass point, it's every person that awakens shifts it just a little bit, shifts it a little bit, shifts it a little bit. So we're going to reach this critical mass point when everybody just kind of shifts, awakens. We're going to reach that critical mass point of people who are awake, that it's going to like shift everybody into awakening, and we're just going to have this shift. So we're going to all be like, whoa, what are we doing? It's going to be a major shift. So here's what we have to look forward to. We're not in the end of times. It is not the end of days. This is actually, we're in the end of a cycle of forgetting, and we're in this awakening. We're in this cycle of remembering, waking up into remembering what we are, remembering the truth, remembering our true roots, remembering what consciousness is. It's remembering ourselves, basically picking up the pieces of ourselves, because our consciousness, if you know anything about, like how the mind, in any given memory, the mind will take all of these different aspects and separate them and putting them into different compartments within the mind. So our consciousness, let alone our mind, is very fragmented. And so the shift in consciousness is to make us more conscious of like how fragmented we really are, so that we can gather the pieces of ourselves and become more holistic, more whole beings, actual conscious beings, because we're very, very unconscious. All these unconscious aspects are coming up, like racism, like all these lies, all the greed, all the corruption, all of, everything that's just kind of like, this is what a lot of people in fear are saying, it's the end of days. It's not the end of days, it's just everybody is kind of, all of these aspects are coming out, like I said. So now they have to be integrated. Now they have to be worked with. Now that we have to find the root cause. Now we have to find what perpetuates what perpetuates lies, what perpetuates greed, what perpetuates corruption. How am I being a part of that? How am I corrupt in my life? It doesn't even have to be on a big scale. How am I lying to myself? How am I being corrupt to myself? Because we're all doing it, otherwise we wouldn't be experiencing it. Jesus, why is that such a hard word? Anyway, so it's basically taking a deeper look. Like when I first started this, first announced that I was doing this, YouTube channel, this is what I was saying. I said I wanted to talk about really the deep stuff that nobody wants to talk about, and because we all want to wade in the shallow waters and take 500 selfies of ourselves. And this isn't a judgment. I've done it too, and I've been there, and I have all of the I have the proof on my computer to prove it. So this is just becoming conscious and realizing that we all have a part to play in this. And this is kind of one of my parts. It's making the unconscious conscious, so that we can start to realize that it needs to be integrated, it needs to be healed. And that's just kind of my part as a light worker. If you don't know what a light worker is, I have a video for that too on my YouTube channel on Infinite Love. Check it out. So that's it, guys. This is the Great Awakening. And tomorrow I will actually have a video posted. I'll post a video about my own experience with it, and kind of just talking about my experiences as a kid and as I'm having this awakening as an adult. So hope you enjoyed it. If you got to the end of this video, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. It means a lot to me, because where your energy is going, that means it's growing. So that sounded really dirty. Anyway, so till next time, you guys, if you guys have any, if you guys have any questions, if anything is unclear, please don't hesitate, leave a question. And till next time, humanity, love, unity, peace, all that hippie shit, back to you. So till next time, guys, infinite love and peace.